you guys ever cheated on
fuck
this?
yeah. Me?
I'm trying to think of like.
No, I don't think. I think I've had like the temptation to do it, and then the inner moral battle of like, don't do it.
I don't remember having cheated. So sometimes I would just get distracted and I'd look to the side and I'd be like, oh shit, I need to like actually look like I'm not trying to stare at somebody's sheet or whatever. I was just.
And then you get the paranoia that like your teacher saw you and now you're like you have to overcompensate. Like,
wait, are you discussing whether or not you cheated in school?
Yeah, I was just wondering if you like if somebody actually did. Like I didn't know the surprise. You know, feel.
Yeah, am I that much of a piece of shit?
No, it's not.
Dude, one time I remember I cheated off somebody and they like their answers were wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm like copying their answers and they were wrong. I get the test back.
That's what I figured for me. I was like, if I don't know it, I might as well just fucking do what I can because other people might not know it as well.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah.
Like,
I wasn't that smart.
I actually studied for the serial B student.
All right. I mean, I never started any of these interviews properly, but welcome the sort of new hires. I don't know if you guys can call you new anymore, but
3/5.
You could shorten it to the hires at this point. I think maybe
the gainfully employed. We have Christian,
hello.
Aiden,
Hello.
and Max.
hello.
This band, the new hires. How about that, eh?
It's something, man.
So my understanding, doing my intense research, is that there was a precursor to the new hires. It was called Almost Kennedy.
Yes, indeed.
Can you explain how this began?
So that actually started long time ago. I think I was bored in university and started looking online on. There was like this music app where you can match musicians. I ended up meeting musicians on there.
Yeah.
Going through some like weird adventures through it, and ended up starting this little project where I found Christian on Kijiji and Phil. Yeah. Well, Phil later on. We played together for maybe like 3 years or so, and then I think broke up in 2018. Christian left
About then. It was
around there to
2018 to
Montreal.
2019, I think, like that winter period.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Yeah. Was there any? Did you have any experiences of meeting musicians that it didn't work out? I mean, it must have. Like you must have met musicians like that. Was there any bizarre stories that?
There's definitely I've had stories of meeting, and they're always great because they're people I've always kept in touch with. Usually when it's like one of those weird ones, I have like one of the first musical experiences that I've had was a weird story, just because it was meeting someone at their place in Nepean, and the individual telling me, actually, we're not practicing here, and I've never met this person before.
Yeah.
He's like, actually, we're not practicing here. He's loading his stuff out, and I'm like in his driver, like, where are we going? He's like, Arnprior. So we ended up driving over to Arnprior. Yeah, it was just like one of those weird experiences where you don't know somebody and you're just like, okay, it is. We'll see what happens. If I die, I die.
I had an experience with a drummer who had not learned how to hit cymbals yet.
Oh.
And so I had a jam session, played a lot of, White Stripes, Seven Nation Army over and over again.
Yeah. Steady.
just the bass
Foot on
drum
the
part.
floor.
Yeah.
Really excelled at that part.
Yeah. So I guess, wait, are you all from Ottawa? Are you from different places?
Yeah. Well, I'm from Hawkesbury, so like an hour away.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have a great hospital there.
Sorry?
You have a great hospital there?
Apparently.
Yeah.
It's, yeah. If you go for the drive, you can get in quicker probably than waiting in Ottawa.
I'm a Westboro kid. So
Okay.
Ottawa. Pretty raised. I guess I technically wasn't born here, but.
Would you admit what street you grew up on?
What street I grew up on? It was Cowley Ave.
Okay.
Which is kind of like, I don't know, I guess Scott and
Canyon
Island Park, I guess?
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I know the
Okay.
area. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
I grew up in Orleans. Nothing exciting.
Orleans, okay. All right,
Yeah.
cool. All right. And so the Almost Kennedys dissolved in a fiery, passionate end, I assume, right? Like there was a lot of hate.
It was
and-
almost it was a Facebook Messenger text basically from my part. I think.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm out, man. I'm out.
You guys were shooting a music video, weren't you?
Yeah,
Basically.
it kind of just like fizzled out. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
it fizzled out rapidly, and there was like no hard feelings or anything, but it was just kind of like one of those. Oh, okay, we're here.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then Christian left, so deserter.
For Montreal.
Just
Yeah.
left. Had to go to Montreal for 2 years.
What was in Montreal?
I was just living with my cousin at the time, and then he wanted to go to Montreal to live with my other cousin
Okay.
and change to McGill and stuff. And I was just done university, and I was like, well, why not? Just go for a trip.
Okay.
And I realized I didn't like Montreal that much, and COVID happened, and then I came back to Ottawa.
And then, so is that the like the roots of like the new hires? Is it coming back or?
I mean,
Yeah.
you guys were like building up before I came back.
Yeah, like in theory, the new hires started percolating around like maybe like the early 2020s. Like Phil and I were jamming in like I think it was like December 30th, 2019. Put up an ad on Kijiji, found Aiden maybe.
I had just finished school and moved back from Kingston.
Oh, okay.
And then, yeah, they asked me to send a demo. I sent my demos. They sent their demos. I was like, wow, these guys are pretty sick. I hope they think I'm pretty sick. And then
When we send a demo, is this like you playing guitar or is it like you in bands or what?
just previous stuff that I had worked on.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
With actually Peter Lift from Future of Free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I not ran into him. It was another Kijiji experience in Kingston. And then we collaborated a little bit, wrote a couple ditties, I guess, tunes, and or half ideas, you know.
Yeah.
And then I sent those demos to Phil and Max, which is what got me the audition, I guess.
Okay.
Well, there wasn't really much of an audition at that point. I think it was like we were all trying to figure out the sound, and then by maybe 2021 we had a better idea of it, and then Arthur came on, and Christian, you came. Well, Arthur would have been the summer.
Yeah.
Christian, you would have came around October of 2021, and then we were already in the studio around then.
Yeah,
and then-
when I came in, you sent me a folder for like the audition / practice, and like you already had basically the Say First, Get Out, and Whisper like done.
Yeah.
I had just had to learn them, and you were going in studio for them as well.
yeah.
But like, if you came in October,
Yeah.
like, were you using like a drum machine before that, or what was going on?
Well, there was a couple drummers that were like in and out. Like,
Oh,
for the most
gotcha,
part,
okay,
we were jamming at this one drummer's place, Dexter, and it's just during the pandemic. It's so tough because you're starting back and forth, and then you kind of lose touch after a while. You never know if you're going to be actually able to continue with the project or not. And so, Phil, myself, and Aiden were pretty steady at getting or focusing on the project and whatnot. So we,
Did a lot of writing.
yeah,
And what has become of all this writing?
it's on the drive.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would
okay.
say
It's on the cloud.
95% of it is in the cloud.
Is it
Half finished.
because like you're like not unsure about it, or you're just like there's so
There's
much
some
to
good
get
stuff
to?
on there, but we just either rewrite newer stuff or we have to take the time to go back and listen to all that
Yeah, okay,
backlog.
yeah.
And relearn it, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've been fairly busy too. Like that's the other thing. It's
Yeah.
like finding the time to be able to go back through the recordings and like find the vibe and find the find the time to practice it and trying to figure out can we make something of this.
The long drives are pretty good for that. Like
Yeah.
driving to Montreal or Toronto or whatever for shows.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's prime go into the backlog time.
You're all like stuck in like one spot together for like a few hours. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
One or two, depending on how many cars we need.
My theory is that the new hires is a reference to government, something to do with the Canadian government? Is that possible? No, or is that unrelated?
At this point, I feel like we shouldn't have a meaning behind it. We'll let you interpret
We should
what
just
you
say
want.
we should just say yes. To
Yes,
all of
yeah,
these.
exactly.
Just yes.
Wait, has it been asked many times before, or what?
No, well, like
Not yet.
The normal like question of like how did you come up with the name kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same idea as like any band. You just go through a list of maybe 300 names and then you finally settle on one.
Yeah.
So there wasn't
Benny, a
really,
band name generator. as
Yeah,
well.
there wasn't really much of like a specific meaning behind it. It was just more like this fits the vibe I think that we want
okay.
to go for. And I think originally we were trying to like even down to the like trying to figure out do we want a the in it, and I
Yeah.
wanted a the in it because I was like we're never going to be found online if it's new hires. It's just going to be like career websites after career website.
Along with that, though, I think that the suits or like the getup kind of came with it. I think that there was this inclination that we wanted to visually differentiate ourselves, and I just went with the name.
So,
really well.
so what came first?
The chicken or the egg? They kind of came at the same time, I think.
Yeah.
Almost.
No, I think
wasn't the name first?
Suits
and
was
then-
after.
Name would have been first because Suits would have came around the time that we were like fully formed as a band,
Yeah.
right? Because then that I remember the conversation that we had. It was at Lieutenant's Pump.
Right.
We were talking about like, okay, we got to go do this, and we decided to go to the mall. Went to like just to go see what we could find together as a band as an outfit, and then we came out with
The homies went to Zara.
no H&M.
H&M.
H&M. Yeah, I think we started at a couple other places, and we're like, we are not rich enough for this.
Yeah.
Like going to the Salvation Army is probably a better bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
But
I remember when I joined, you guys already had like plans a little bit on who was wearing what.
yeah.
And I was just like, I have dress pants and a black button-up shirt, and it was like, that was good enough. Yeah. And then people were like, why are you wearing black shirt when everybody else is like white and black? And I was like, I don't know, this is what I had.
So this whole idea between about like having like I don't know if I should call it like a dress code or whatnot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like is kind of like it's sort of like part of the marketing of like making you recognizable.
It's partially that. It's also partially like you don't have to think about what you're wearing on stage
Ah,
anymore.
okay, yeah.
Right?
It simplifies it.
It's
Yeah.
a unifying element.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about wearing a I don't know, stupid T-shirt or whatever, or like something that somebody might have an opinion about if everybody just wears the same thing, or not the same thing, but like adjacent and looks unified. It makes just people really like it. It's fun.
Yeah. Well, it's like any sports team, right? Like to a point, like it shows that we're on there together. And it's kind of cool because like at least for me, it's like a Clark Kent moment of like being able to kind of like step away from normal Max to being like on stage Max.
It's like you're wearing a superhero costume basically.
In a sense, yeah, it's pretty sweet.
It does help with the confidence. I will give you that.
At first, I feel like, at least for me, I know it was just like we were talking about more and more suits, and I was just like, can we do like something else, or whatever, like personally. But then now it's like gotten used to it, and like playing without it would feel weird.
Yeah.
And it's like it's nice.
I apologize for not noticing this, but like as a drummer, like what kind of pants are you wearing? Rob?
the dress pants I had before were like really nice as well, and the pants we got this time for like the second version of the outfit are very stretchy and are like amazing. Those H&M pants I find.
Okay.
So like
So
that has always been good for drumming kind of thing, but
So they can breathe and you're comfortable. It's not like
yeah.
Okay, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I noticed that I guess for like before this most recent EP, it was black and white, and now it's gray and black. That makes sense. Like
Yeah.
And was there a discussion about? All right, we're evolving as a people here. Like
Yeah. Well, I think there's a point where like we were always. It's tough when you take photos and you get like photographers to come in and take shots at shows, and they all kind of end up looking the same because you're wearing the same outfit.
yeah,
every
you're
time,
at the rainbow, and it's like the
Yeah,
it's
so
like-
it looks like it's always the same thing. So there's a level too where it was like, it'd be fun to just try it and have something new. And like, there might be a point where we're already like kind of discussing long-term plans, like a 3.0 even, like, and really digging into it and just kind of reinventing ourselves every couple of years to keep things fresh and kind of have a fun look, right?
like maybe like an experimental album where it's like there's like bright purples and like harsh pinks
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
Well, we knew these next the songs that just came out were a little bit darker to a sense, so it was kind of like we didn't want to go into the dark one, but I think we played the Taking Back Sunday show, or maybe it was the My Chem show, one of the two where we were wearing all black, and there was something kind of nice about that.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of trickled down into we don't want it to look too emo, so that's where the gray pants I think came in.
Yep.
Okay.
And frankly, to be honest, I was tired of ruining white shirts.
That too.
The maintenance was it's surprising, like
Yeah.
you wouldn't think it, but it was honestly like shredding them with my guitar. Like my guitar would rub on these nice dress white shirts, right, and they'd just get shredded or whatever.
Oh,
So
man.
I think I went through like 3 or 4 of them,
Yeah.
to be honest, during that period.
Well, there was one when we played in Toronto. You had to run to like
But Coors or whatever, like
Yeah.
Coors.
Yeah.
you had to
Or when
run
it was-
to
it was
get
a-
one
yeah.
last second.
yeah.
Or there's actually one show where we didn't play with outfits,
True.
and it's in Montreal, and it's because I
Oh,
forgot my. So we had played a show in Ottawa.
Mold?
Yeah, there was. So I've gotten very good at like making sure my stuff is like hung properly after a show and like making sure that it's properly clean. For this one, I didn't really think about it. It was we had played a show. I left my suit in the back of I think it was Phil's car, and didn't like I was like, oh, I forgot to like clean it. I was like, whatever, I don't care. We get to the show in Montreal and it's like it had molded over
Yeah, little
in the
spots
back
all
seat. So I
over
was like, no, we're not doing this.
Mold like little spots of
Yeah, there was
mold?
little spots
It
on
was
it.
in one of those
no.
like you put your suit in like the zipper like cover or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. So I
Morse
think it was
bag
just
or
it was
whatever.
just sealed in there. Like
Yeah. I honestly thought it'd be fine and it just was not fine.
yeah.
It was not fine.
the adventures with the suits.
Yeah. Now I have like 3 or 4 versions of everything in case.
Yeah.
I was just thinking. Okay, so Aiden, I've seen you on the Rainbow like get off the stage into the crowd and play guitar solo, and then like I think you maybe came back the stairs again afterwards, right?
I've tried to hop back up.
Yeah.
I think there's a funny video.
There's
somewhere.
video. Of it, yeah.
Video.
You were like rolling into it. I tried to catch you.
Trying to hop up that giant stage and like rolling back on stage with a guitar in my hands, but yeah, it's a lot of fun to get in people's faces. I guess I don't know.
Do you train to like? I didn't catch you like getting off the stage. Do you like slide down? Do you jump down? Like what's going on?
It's a big jump.
It's a jump. Okay, well,
Jump from the the upper deck, I guess.
the
from,
rainbow,
from the
yeah.
rainbow. But yeah, most of the time, a lot of the stages we play are not as high up, so it's not that big of a
it's
deal.
like a little step.
Yeah, or like just less of a like it's probably like 4 feet or something, 5 feet, right?
Yeah, it's pretty high. I've had a jump where I didn't make it back up.
Yeah.
It was like,
But yeah, no, it's tough to be honest. Like you're getting into people's faces, you're trying to manage your cable that's coming along with you, and you're trying to also play guitar solo at the same time. It's never a dull moment.
Did you train for it beforehand? Like practice?
I don't train for it.
I sit in the living room and he comes up to me in his guitar.
Yeah,
And
jumps on the couch.
I do my Pilates with a guitar in my hand.
I mean, like during like sound check, do you jump off the stage and kind of test it out? Like, can I pull this off or no? That?
Honestly, I think I just practice a lot. I mean, I think you can vouch for it today. I think I practiced for like a good 3 hours. But yeah, no, just playing a lot of guitar. You don't have to think about it.
I mean, practicing the guitar. So like
Yeah.
basically, no matter what like velocity you're in, you can keep holding on the fretboard. Okay.
Yeah, and then also you're just like my brain. I don't have to think about what I'm playing anymore. It's just kind of like my hands do the work.
you can think about survival. In the
I can
crowd
think about
instead.
survival in the crowd instead, kind of thing. Honestly, you should ask Max about the jumping into the crowd thing. He's probably more
Jumping on hay bales.
experienced with it.
But yeah, you, I guess a microphone's easier to hold. But yeah, have you had any accidents jumping into a crowd?
I've had like near falls. There's one time where I jumped out and tried to jump back on and like couldn't make it back up, so I had to jump a couple times. The closest one would have been the hay bale, truly, because I rewatched that video and when I landed. So okay, to go back, so we were playing at Woodfest a couple years back, or
Okay.
maybe last year. Now I think about it, it feels
Yep,
like
last
ages.
year.
Yep.
There was like open space in front of me, and like the big thing for me whenever I go out into the crowd, it's mainly because like I'm like, you know what, this seems like fun. Whatever, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And it's such an impulse thing. And I saw hay bales in the distance, and I was like, I want to climb that. So I went and I climbed the hay bales, like just feedback going off and everything. And it was so much fun to be on the top. But then I was like, I got to jump back down. So I jumped back down, and in the video, you can kind of see me tweak my ankle a little bit.
Oh no.
And it was just like one of those moments where like I dodged a bullet there, truly dodged a bullet. It could have been so painful. It was fine. I walked it off, but it was like one of those like that could have been close.
Oh man. So you have released a new EP called For All Seasons. Is that correct?
Indeed.
And
Streaming everywhere now.
and for All Seasons, I have two theories. Is it about tires, or is it about this album? This EP can be played in any season of the year.
Yes.
Where'd you guys record it, or how did the recording process work?
So we recorded the first 4 singles with Corey Bergeron out in Barhaven at Pebble Studio, with I guess Taylor. What's his last name? Oh man,
Oh my God.
Hawkins.
It's Taylor. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Taylor, you know who you are. I guess there was kind of a variety of locations. We recorded the drums out in, was it Quebec?
Is it Taylor James Harris?
Taylor James Harris.
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's Serge.
Yeah.
Garage.
So anyway, I guess how the relationship there,
Quebec, sorry, just out of town.
just out of town, yeah. How that relationship started was I did my high school co-op at Pebble Studio with
And not to forget Robbie as well.
oh Robbie, yeah.
Pebble Studio Kit.
It's out in Barhaven. It's kind of attached to a music school, I guess.
Okay.
Lessons place called Hummingbird Music, and I did my high school co-op there, and I met Corey there when I was like 17, and then 5 years later or whatever, we wanted to record some music. I was like, well, I know this guy who's in that studio that's got an SSL in it, like it'll sound good. I've heard the stuff that comes out of there, so
Yeah.
we went and recorded with Corey, and he's a busy guy, but he's nice enough to have us, and I think the recordings speak for themselves. I think they're pretty banging, sound pretty good.
So for this EP, you released like 4 of the 5 songs as like you call them singles, I guess, beforehand.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And like each image, there was like for Mission Control, there was a space helmet. For Weekend, there was flowers. For Down, there was the Hello, my name is sticker. There was the ghost for Annabelle.
Mm-hmm.
The song Holy. Was there a representation on the cover in the end?
Yeah. So if you look at the final cover art, it's every little piece from every single.
That's what I mean.
Brought
Yeah.
back into it, and that's kind of like the For All Seasons. To kind of go back to that, it's just in a sense every song kind of has a representation of a season.
So I did not notice what Holy was.
So Holy doesn't really. That one is just kind of like, to me at least, the end of it.
But
It's
was
kind of like
was
a
it
bow
like
tie on it.
Was it the stars or no? I'm saying like did it have like a?
Did it have its own logo? No. Like
Oh, okay,
Holy,
okay. I
Holy
thought-
was like kind of maybe like the holistic photo, if anything, but.
Oh, okay.
The holistic man, you're grasping straws here, man.
No, because I was on Bandcamp, and so like Annabelle wasn't on there as its own single, so I started piecing together that Annabelle was probably the ghost on the cover.
Yeah.
And I was like, but Holy sounds is like a ghost kind of too, but I'm like, anyway, okay. About Holy, that's the only song on the album that's is a guitar and vocals.
Yeah, we recorded that with Mike Poisson as well.
Oh, okay.
He was in town, I guess, working Blues Fest, and we asked him, "Hey, we have some acoustic stuff that we'd love to record.
Yeah.
Would you mind helping us out with that?" And we set up at Max's new digs, and he has wonderfully high ceilings and got some great natural reverb. And there's a couple more covers, I guess, acoustic covers that we're going to be releasing soon.
Okay, cool.
That were recorded acoustic versions, yeah, I guess. That we're going to be releasing along with that we recorded at the same time as Holy.
Was Holy ever attempted as like a full band?
Not
Not
really.
yet.
like when you brought the riff over, like you guys had the song, and it was always like a very like more stripped down, like intimate duo song kind of thing. Like we can definitely figure out something. It wouldn't be too hard to add on to it, but it's nice, like just to have it that way too.
Well, I think with the message too, it is like a pretty kind of like intimate, sad song,
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
right? So I think there's something nice about it being a little bit more on the vulnerable side with just the guitar and the vocals.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
It was really fun on Friday, I thought, with like Christian and Arthur and Phil all hopped into the crowd while Max and I played the song on stage.
Oh, cool.
And then we had they hopped back up on stage when we finished and then played another song. But yeah, people seem to really enjoy that. It just adds another, entertainment value,
Yeah,
I guess, or dynamic, kind of stripping down, and then like the band comes back and it's big comeback moment.
Speaking of Arthur, sadly he's
He hasn't died, man.
he,
It's okay.
he quit the
Rest in
band.
peace.
He got in a big fight. He got on stage and
Yeah, smashed his bass over us.
yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, I saw the footage online.
Yeah, don't look for the footage.
No, but I guess you were probably aware this was coming ahead of time. Yeah.
Yeah, we knew maybe in February.
Yeah.
No, it was like
Whoa.
far
It was
back.
like
Was
we
it
knew.
that far?
Yeah. Or maybe not February, but like in the spring we knew.
Yeah.
He had let us know like far in advance, and so
True.
Yeah.
Yes.
we were trying to figure out what would be the best way to go about it, and we wanted to make sure that no matter what happened, because he said that like September he'd be good to commit until the end of September.
Yeah. Okay.
And we were like, well, no matter what happens, like if we find a backup or someone to take the mantle, we want to give you that last show as like a last hurrah, because like
Yeah,
we've
totally.
got 3 solid years with him. So
Yeah, in my band Stoby, we had like an overlap of like drummers. So like we had a new drummer and the old drummer was still playing shows and stuff. Yeah, it's kind of like
yeah, it's definitely interesting, and we're extremely lucky. Like we have a new bassist now who's going to be hopping in starting in November.
Okay, cool.
Well, starting in September, technically there was a couple shows he's already played with us.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, he played Cornwall with us.
Cornwall and then the Spectrum Festival.
Yep.
But
He hasn't
yeah.
come into the city yet.
well, he's in the city. He's in Smiths Falls now. So technically, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
His name's Jack Gunn.
Jack Gunn?
Yeah, it's a great name.
That
Isn't
sounds like a celebrity.
it?
Yeah.
Tell me about it. That's why we picked him.
Does Gunn have 2 Ns?
Yeah.
2 ends, yeah.
All right, that's
just like
pretty
Peter
fancy.
Gunn.
Yeah,
from Guess What
surprisingly
Status.
not related.
Yeah.
Not related. We checked.
So for this EP, I guess when was it recorded? Sorry, it was
Last
Throughout
year.
2023, yeah.
okay.
So it would have been maybe we finalized it in January or February or so, and then Holy would have been recorded maybe in June.
I think it was July.
July.
Okay, towards the end. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It took us like a good 8 months to record the first 4 songs, though, I think.
Yeah. There was like a couple, like I know I got sick for a little bit too.
Yep.
It's kind of tough when you have to sing and you lose your voice when you're about to go in.
When you guys are like writing songs, like it sounds from my research, I guess, like there's different songwriters like flowing through the songs. Like, how does that function exactly?
I guess usually Phil or I will bring a guitar riff.
Yeah,
Or somebody will bring. Sometimes Max brings a guitar riff.
I also in Almost Kennedy, you were playing guitar in it. Yeah.
Back in the day. Well, Phil's actually using that guitar.
Oh, cool.
Because it's such a great road guitar. It's so much fun, that Telly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Christian's also brought some chords. Hasn't made any recordings yet, but
Yeah.
we'll get there.
It's a hodgepodge, really. Like
Yeah.
I think everybody kind of tosses an idea and then we work together to bring it out. Like there's levels of it where sometimes, like Aiden said, it's going to be a riff that's brought, or maybe it was like an idea that was like somewhat like the original 3, or maybe not the original 3, but like say first would have been like a guitar, or not a guitar, but a garage band session for like a riff, and then we build it together.
Yeah,
There's
okay.
never anything that's like pre-baked, like this is your part. Do
Okay.
it.
Okay.
I would say what has the most success rate is if you come with a verse and a chorus and like a reasonable transition, I guess, kind of like I've thought of like how to like, okay, this is what we're going to start with, and then we're going to go to this, like an A and a B kind of thing, and then build the rest of the song off of that.
And like, do like Max, you add the vocals in, or is it like people bring vocal ideas to you, or like how does that all flow?
Well, usually like the way that it works is like if we have a practice, we'll work together to like kind of at least get the bass structure, and then from there I'll sit in the corner with like my phone and just do voice recordings over on the side, and then usually figure out a melody. I'll let the guys know like, what do you guys think about this, and then we'll work towards like getting to that spot.
Has like, I don't know if I want to bring up any bad blood here, but it's like,
there's no bad blood in this band, man. You're good.
no, but like what was this one person? Someone's like, oh, I really love this, and someone's like, no, I don't love this, and then the rest of the band has to be the kind of like negotiate between the two.
We have a saying. We have a saying. Kill your darlings.
Oh yeah.
Kill your darlings. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because there's a saying. There's a way where like usually like we've had a couple where it's like sometimes it's just we're knocking our head against the wall and just can't get it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that it's not going to be revisited at some point.
Yeah.
Like their Sharpshooter, the original version of Sharpshooter sounds nothing like the final version of Sharpshooter.
Yeah, it was like a really like kind of fast technical riff that Phil wrote.
Yeah.
Which I, being a fellow guitar player, I thought was sick. But singing over it turned out to be kind of a challenge. So he kind of altered it to be more just like kind of strumming through. Like he was kind of playing arpeggios, but then he just kind of strummed the chords.
Yeah, okay.
Kind of thing.
He made it more rhythmic rather than...
Yeah. As opposed to angular and kind of metalcore riffy, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's like a big struggle for bands, though, is like bands get into fights and like...
Yeah, but I feel like we're pretty lucky with having 5 members. It's like, if ever there's something like that, we just go through a vote kind of thing, right?
Yeah,
It's like, usually there's a majority and
nobody really wants to die on the hill.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
it's... If you're the person in the room who's like, everybody's thinking, like, if you feel like you're not the crazy one, I guess, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not the only person, you're the only person voting for something, it's like, you're probably wrong.
Yeah.
And,
you know what I mean?
and also the benefit of having like, it's like the Supreme Court where if you have 5 people, if you said like 3 people and there's 2 people against you, it's like maybe I'm not crazy, but when you have like 4 people against you, it's like maybe I'm crazy.
And usually what happens is like even if it's like a 3-2 split, if it's a 3-2 split, we try it, but like it's not like I'm force feeding it because we have like a majority. It's like, let's try it and let's push and let's see how far we can take this, if we can take it that far. There's a point where we all realize like, no, we're banging our heads. Let's revisit this at another time. Let's move on to something else and see what comes up, right?
Honestly, sometimes it takes us like a year and a half to write, 2 years to write a song, it feels like.
Yeah.
But
and in the meantime, we write like 3 other songs.
Yep. Yeah, we come out like really, really fast.
Well, that's usually the best way to go about it, I feel. It's like if a song for the most part can be at least exciting and generally structured within 2 sessions, then I think you have something to run with. Doesn't mean it's not going to change. Like we've had songs that have changed afterwards. Like Annabelle doesn't sound anything like what it was before. Like when we went to studio, and that's when
it was like a hard hitting rock song. It was like burst out the windows, like rocking out.
Yeah,
and it turned into like kind of
more of like a vibey. Which is cool because like that was one of the things. Like Corey, we developed that relationship with him, and he told us, he's like, guys, you guys have been doing this over and over again. Try something new. And so he challenged us to do it. And I think it came out pretty cool. So
kind of like break the formula a little bit, I guess, kind of thing.
A little bit, yeah. So it was kind of like an uncomfortable position to be in, especially when you're in the studio. Like there's a bit of a panic moment of like, we got to figure it out now. But
for the lyrics, Max, are you always the lyricist, or is there other?
Yeah, like usually, like what I'll do is I'll send snippets to everybody to get like their opinion, especially when it comes to like little nuances.
Yeah.
Like I'll try to give options if there's like stuff that I'm not too sure about, just because like sometimes it's tough for them to kind of hear what I'm picturing in a melody form. But usually when it comes to lyrics, it would come from me.
Most of the time that you'll like just cast your laptop screen onto a TV with the lyrics.
Yeah.
So everybody can see them, and like, everybody okay with this kind of thing, or like, do you have any thoughts? I'm struggling with this, or
Yeah.
Yeah, I get
so
it.
we all give a little bit of feedback and kind of, but I would say it's mainly led by Max. The lyrics.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely like little nuggets of gold. Like I know, like in New York, you had the
You
rags
called me
to-
in a panic, man.
Yeah, because we were heading into the studio, and you came up with or at least like the you had said something about like rags to riches, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. So it like that's the collaborative side. Like for me, usually when it comes to like writing lyrics, it's nice to have like people that I can bounce
Yeah, I
off
get
of
it.
and just like give me stuff that I can like fit into the story or into the narrative and like try to mold it to like what I'm trying to sing.
Yeah,
or
I get
the
it.
way that I want it to sound when I sing it.
Has there ever been like a circumstance where like you said something crazy and was like, "What? No, we can't do this." like we are poo poo heads, poo poo heads. And I was like, "What are you doing?"
I think I'm fairly conservative in my approach for writing. I don't think there's anything.
Yeah,
that's
if
like
anything,
too
it's me who's trying to push you to be crazy.
crazy down over here.
Okay, in Mission Control, there's some space themes going on in the lyrics. There's a countdown in it,
Yeah.
and there are these twinkly things. I think are keyboards. I'm not sure. What can you explain what's going on with this?
The production elements.
It's going like right before the chorus,
yeah,
and then like
Arpeggiated synth.
Yeah.
what's the word you use?
Arpeggiated?
Yeah,
Is that the
I
word?
think they're
Yeah.
kind of, yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's Corey's magic.
Okay,
We use
okay.
A lot of those production elements when it comes to like synths or whatever, like we sometimes have the idea of what we want, but there's stuff like that when
We usually
we're
have
like,
reference tracks too. I think there was like the Killers. I forget which song it was for Mission Control, but they use a lot of kind of, they'll double up their guitar parts with a synth or whatever to make it sound thicker.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're a big inspiration for us, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite Killers song?
smile like you mean it.
That's a good one. Off of that album too, I love that. It's like "Believe Me, Natalie" or something like that. I don't know if that's the name.
Do you mean
of it.
Jenny was a friend of mine?
No, it's something Natalie.
That's my favorite song.
Natalie.
Oh yeah. I know which song you're talking about.
Me and Mr. Brightside too. I mean, kind
Okay.
of hard to beat.
Yeah, I
hard to
mean,
beat.
I only know the singles, but when you were young, that was
Oh yeah.
that's my favorite song. In the song "The Weekend," or not "The Weekend," sorry, "Weekend." I apologize for
We
adding
couldn't
the.
afford the so.
Yeah, who's gonna sue us?
The end of the song like breaks down into like a 6/8 time, but still manages to maintain like the riff, like
Yeah.
the guitar riff on it. Like that's quite it's quite a fun feeling. How that all come to be.
Was that there from the beginning?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that well
Max wanted.
Yeah.
He had that vision of that ending.
yeah, because I wanted something that was like kind of like grand.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
a grand like screw you kind of moment, and I felt like that really kind of hammered it in, especially going in after that last chorus, because the lyrics are kind of like a story between two individuals, one individual compromising for so long and then kind of finding their breaking point,
Okay.
and the other person just kind of like making excuses. So the verses is from one individual saying excuses, and from the choruses it's like, come on, get it together, and then the last chorus is like, I'm done, and then
I don't need you. I think
Yeah.
is said a couple times in that part.
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe once or twice.
What was it easy to play the? I guess like it sounds like the chorus, but it's like in a different time signature, right? Like, it was easy to
So-
like translate that.
Like, from my point of view, it's basically like you have like the pulse, like, right? It's like 1 and 2 and like straight, but you keep that like pulse, and then you just go into triplet. It's like 1 and the 2 and the 3 and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's like whatever you're playing over it, it's still gonna fit. It's just gonna be in like a weird kind of like polyrhythm almost. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be like a 4/3 or whatever.
Because for me, it feels like a 4/4
yeah.
in the way that I view the cycles vocally.
There's
But-
an adage, you know, if anything's in 4/4, if you're not a nerd.
was the song recorded to a metronome?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
what was recorded. It
Okay,
was like
it's
I think
two
it
clicks.
switched.
Oh,
either
it does switch,
click
okay.
Or I mean, for drums, we recorded parts like individually a lot. It was like
Okay.
looped certain parts over and over kind of thing.
Okay.
A lot of the
And
fills.
guitars, yeah, the fills as well. But yeah,
Yeah, guitars. It's the same chords as
but yeah, you just kind of like
the chorus, I think. Yeah.
swing them.
You just
more.
vibe it.
And yeah, you just you go into your sing song, kind of.
Yeah, you're swinging.
I don't
Yes.
I don't want to say sea shanty, but a lot of those kind of like sing songy Irish kind of vibe. I used to play in a Celtic band, so I'm very familiar with 6/8.
You played in Celtic bands, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I played in, I don't know, feels like every genre under the sun. But yeah, man.
Were you playing a guitar in it?
I was playing bass. It was in
Oh,
Kingston. We played the Tir na Nog a lot. It was a lot of fun.
You played the...
The Tir na Nog. It's
Okay.
an Irish bar.
Are you summoning Cthulhu here? What's going on?
Irish Cthulhu.
The song Down, which apparently was written by Aidan and Arthur, yes?
Oh, down, man. Was it Arthur and I?
No.
Does
What?
it say what?
Well,
Arthur?
that would have been like a practice riff. That's
Hold on. Wait, that's not true?
no. Oh,
Wait, is there
Did we say something online that was incorrect?
No, is there a song on the EP that was written by Aidan and Arthur?
no.
I don't think
Not
so.
that I
All right, well, you
so.
better check your Spotify, man, because something.
Oh, maybe I messed up while uploading. Let's see.
It could have been
Let
me,
me
too.
fact check
No,
myself. here.
I guarantee you, Aidan and Arthur are together as a songwriting credit for one of the songs. So if it's not that one, I'm not sure which one it is, but something's wrong then.
We're all usually on
Yeah,
this
usually I
song,
put
but-
everybody because
Yeah.
well, for,
Maybe it was the order.
I added all the.
yeah, we're
the
all
credits.
In there. We're all in there. I think.
Okay, so maybe it was the first two on that one
Okay,
shows up.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so everyone's credited on all the songs. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, because for some reason there's like a different order on each one, right?
Yeah, there might have been for that. It may have been alphabetical
Yeah,
for that one, if
that's what I'm
anything.
thinking.
Oh,
Definitely
okay.
could have been an error.
But no, if anything, like every song that we have, everything is like everybody gets credit.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like the Beatles, where certain songs were written by different people. Okay, my bad. Okay.
Man. If we were
We're
like
waiting,
the
we're waiting
Beatles,
for
man.
Paul.
Yeah.
Paul to give us a call.
I thought it was the famous Aidan and Arthur, like Lennon McCartney.
You can pick the Aidan and Arthur songs out of the rest of the discography. Like, you know the sound of their songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anything, I think those are like the George Harrison songs or something. The weird ones.
So I noticed that you made a video for this song, and somehow you managed to get into Marrow 64 and do a race.
Yes.
And like, how did you manage to get into the game? And like, what was it like to be in there?
It was a great time.
Had to blow in the cartridge a lot.
Yeah.
And slam it in a couple times.
Press power.
Did you encounter any banana peels, and were they as slippery as you expected?
Of course.
Yeah, they were.
10 times
yeah.
slipperier than you think.
I got to meet my hero, Yoshi.
Did he have a lot to say, or was he more of a standoffish kind of guy?
He's kind of a quiet
Very
type.
optimism.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's everybody seemed to be really optimistic.
But yeah, so I mean, so it was filmed in front of a green screen, right? And so like this fella Jeremy Hardy,
Indeed.
look, I mean, do my research. This is crazy.
Damn.
He filmed the video,
Yep.
and so I guess was it whose idea was it, or was it a collaboration, or what transpired to create this video?
We asked Jeremy, "Do you have a green screen?" And I think because
You had an idea. With
yeah.
the
Well, usually
Max is like, oh yeah, filming a green screen video is not gonna be such a big deal. It's super easy, right?
yeah, it was tough. Usually, like a lot of like these random ideas, like at least for the music videos, I'll be like, "Guys, what do you think about this?" And then I'll be like super overboard, and then we end up, or at least I end up paying for it when it gets to the editing floor. But
Oh,
But for that one, it was pretty much just like the concept was, it's a song that has like sad lyrics with a happy-go-lucky feel.
Yeah, okay.
So it's kind of meant to be like, kind of like your everyday, just smile through the pain kind of thing. So like the idea for the music video is just to make it fun and kind of goofy and just
A little over the top. I think.
like
Yeah.
kind of like a meme video in a sense.
Yep.
Oh, okay, gotcha, cool.
Our attempt at going viral, I guess, right?
Of course. with Livy panning out.
Yeah.
My cat Livy is in the video. Just having,
Oh, was it kind of a close up on the green screen? Wasn't
yeah,
it?
having like a full on
Yeah.
existential like crisis.
Yeah, were people's like really really big in it? Kind
Yeah,
of. Okay.
Just like it was a weird night. Like we were just watching TV and she's just like staring out into the nothing, and we're just like, "What are you looking at?" So I just started filming it, and my girlfriend Clara recommended that we use it for the video. She's like, "That's a funny video. You should use it." I was like, "Yes." That was the missing piece.
But for everything that was like in it, all those different images and stuff, like the who was coming up with it? Was it like everybody, or was it like the Jeremy or?
The concepts, I guess.
No, I mean, was there one?
Like fishing or whatever.
There's a
and all
fishing one, yeah,
Yeah.
and there's was some. Maybe I'm remembering this wrong, but
There was a monster one. There was a fishing one.
there was one with, I thought it was not in a coffin, but was it a coffin? It was like it was like layered where you're like sitting in something. As
Yeah, it was a medical bed.
medical bed. That's what it was. So not a
yeah.
coffin, pretty close, but yeah.
Yeah.
I love the roller coaster where you're just like, wee.
A lot of these are just like, so that day, what we ended up doing is just like 3 takes of us in front of the camera singing the song together,
Yeah,
and 1 take of us doing it individually.
yeah, okay.
And then after that, we
brought
brought
a
a
bunch
bunch
of
of props.
A ton of props, yeah.
Yeah, so we were like, just do whatever. And then I was like, I'll figure it out in the back end afterwards. Don't
Yeah,
worry
I
about it.
know that feeling.
Just do it, and then
We'll figure it out in post, yeah.
There's so much green screen footage that is never gonna make. Well, it's gonna,
All
it's gonna-
blackmail. All blackmail material.
It will make the light of day if I can find a computer that has the capacity to edit it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then there is the song Annabelle, which in my notes was written by Max and Phil, but I guess it was written by everybody.
A lot of Corey, I guess, too, because
Yeah.
we changed it in the studio, so it was like a revamp of the whole song.
Yeah, Corey came up with some good ideas there, and it was
Mm-hmm.
it was a cool experience.
Is he like the George Martin of the group?
Well, for definitely every song that we've worked with Corey, he's been fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
He's just kind of like he's got a great production year on him.
Okay.
Like I think that was the only one where we've truly had like a rework in the studio.
Yeah.
Well, there's times where Corey will be like, just skim the fat, or like, what do you guys like in terms of like a second harmony here? Like he'll give like suggestions and we'll take them as they come. We'll either take them or be like no, but at least he's there to be like kind of adding creativity, especially once you're out of the silo, out of the practice room. It's
Yeah,
nice
okay.
to have like a fifth person and be like, did you think about this angle? Did you think about that?
Before you brought the songs into the studio, I noticed that the songs are roughly around 3 minutes or like less. Was he trimming fat like there were longer songs beforehand, or were they kind of?
I think these were generally shorter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like Mission Control, yes, because we used to have a longer intro.
Yeah.
We used to have I think
bridge.
other little. Yeah, the bridge was
Just
longer.
double almost.
Yeah, the coming out of the bridge, the last chorus used to be doubled.
Yeah.
Now it's just ones.
Okay. Yeah.
So for the most part, it's just kind of like we've heard it. Don't bore us. Get to the chorus, kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's got a good pop ear in that front.
He made Weekend longer.
Yeah.
It didn't have like that second, going to the second verse after the chorus. He doubled that to have like the guitar money and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That was one that we were like, oh, this one is short and sweet. And then he made it longer. And we're like, okay.
House chorus.
And so, like, I guess those changes stick, and then when you play them live, it's kind of like,
Yeah, there's some that I remember like off the bat. You kind, especially I think it was Mission Control. It took us a while, or at least me, a while to get used
Yeah.
to the new cut intro
yeah,
because we used to have a longer intro, and now it's like, oh no, I got to sing now.
Oh yeah. That song has a lot of like weird changes in it too. Like it'll be like the pre-chorus especially is like the first one is a little shorter, longer.
Well, it's like longer, but ish. Like,
Yeah.
it's,
Like, but you know, it's just like little intricacies that you have to remember about everything, and then like, oh, by the way, we're also gonna completely rewrite your song in studio. And then, like, oh yeah, you gotta play it how it's recorded live.
That wasn't Mission Control. That was
No,
Annabelle,
yeah, that was Annabelle for sure.
yeah.
I don't know who was. I'm not sure, like Phil and you, like who is considered the lead guitarist and who's considered the rhythm, or is this back and forth? Or what?
I play the lead on all the covers. No, I think it's split duties.
Okay.
He'll like sometimes I write a lead. Like in I guess it's in Down. I used to play the lead in that song.
Yeah.
And then I think it was a singing reason, or
It was. I think it was simply like you were playing.
his
the
part,
rhythm guitar.
his
Yeah.
switching parts for him was like too challenging, so he just took all the leads for that song,
Okay,
and
good.
I just switched to the rhythm. But in a lot of songs, we'll exchange
Yeah,
duties.
okay.
Like I play the lead in the verse, he plays the lead in the chorus, or vice versa, whatever.
Who played the lead in Annabelle?
Phil did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask a question about the guitar.
He, I can say because he's not here. He
Yeah.
really is upset with himself about the leads in that song for some reason.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
what? Like he's sloppy or something or what?
I don't know. I think Phil's just a little too hard on himself, to be honest.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say.
They sound great. Like,
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, like, how did you get that kind of like tone, like
That's one part that he's not happy with. I know his solo. He's just like he doesn't like the tone, which
I
is
forget the pedal.
my favorite part.
Yeah,
there's
I thought
like
it sounded really
there's
nice.
an octave fuzz. I forget what.
Oh, okay, that's the octave
Yeah.
fuzz. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I would like it happens after the first chorus, and then it's the main solo as well. But like,
I think it's the MXR, the blue one.
oh, okay.
I forget what the pedal's called exactly, but
No, I
yeah.
thought it sounded really nice.
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's why it's in the song.
I had a question to Max. When you perform, you point it into the audience, and every time I'm there, you're pointing directly at me.
Yep.
Because somehow you can see through the crowd of people and you point at me. How do you know where I am in the audience?
I try to find you specifically. Usually, it's whenever I see a camera
Yeah.
or whenever I see a smile of some sort. Like for you, usually whenever I'll make eye contact with you, I feel like usually you start like bursting into laughter. So I'll be like, "Ha!"
Okay, so it is happening. I wasn't sure if it was an illusion or not. Okay.
Yeah.
It's real? Okay.
Yeah. So usually if I see a camera, I like to point at it just to be like,
Okay.
it's like I don't know. For me, it's like I got you.
But because you used to play guitar and now you don't, so like, was that like a decision to like, I guess have more of like a stage presence, to like have more of a mic and like why did you stop playing guitar? I guess that's the question I should ask.
There's better guitarists. Like Phil and Aiden are much better at guitar than I am, and like I could recognize that like I can do both mediocrely,
Yeah.
or I could do a better job at doing one and focusing on like
Gotcha.
becoming a front man. And that I remember like just watching the videos from the original, like maybe like the first 3 shows we played. I was just so uncomfortable and like trying to find it, and now I just have so much fun. It's just like karaoke to a point.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, you guys played Dragon Boat, the summer version, and you got like a trailer and stuff.
Yeah.
And you had like a rider. Can I ask like how do you? Okay, we were asked this ourselves. Like when they asked you, "What do you want for your rider?" How do you respond to that?
Water bottles,
Yeah,
Beer?
a singular beer to share among the band.
Yeah.
yeah. Like
We had no clue.
yeah, I was confused. I was like, we asked for vodka, and we asked for pizza,
Nice.
and we got both of them. Like
Y'all
yeah.
asked
Yeah.
for things.
It's a hospitality writer.
I was
man.
confused. I'm like, are we supposed to ask for them? Like, I don't know.
That's
But-
yeah.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to ask for it. We
Yeah.
were just like,
have anything
we're just
specific?
happy to be here.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think we asked for anything, did we?
No, maybe like a case of beer.
We did learn in the winter one, like we arrived at the Rainbow.
Yeah.
And then the guy's like, here's your water, because that's the only thing you put on your rider. And we're like, oh, shoot, we should maybe add like a case of beer or something.
He's like, you know, you can ask for more than just that,
Yeah.
right? We're like,
No. The winter because we played with you guys, so it was like,
It was us, you, and JJ Wild.
and I said, whatever is supposed to come to us, we'll take.
Yeah.
And so like near the where you hang the coats up and stuff in the Rainbow,
Yeah.
there was like a cooler full of Budweiser. So he's like, if you want to get a Budweiser, come here and grab a Budweiser. So that was kind of like the compromise. No fruit bowl anymore, but free Budweiser.
We only wanted water, right?
There's like a tap in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Man. Oh man. But yeah, So were you satisfied with the trailer?
Oh, it was so much fun. It was like one of those like you've made it moments. Like, you made it. Like, I remember walking in and seeing there was a fruit bowl, and just thinking like, "Oh, this is huge!" Like, it was cool.
There was AC.
There was AC. Yeah.
There was
Beers in the fridge.
with beers and drinks.
What was there? There was like a bed in there, so like 2 beds, I think. Eh? No.
Not in our trailer.
There was like, well, I mean, it feels like it was one of those RVs that you could have like folded the table in to make a bed.
Okay.
I think there was some bed in the back, but the door was closed.
Yeah,
I think it was like
there was like a bathroom that was closed off.
there was a
and
bathroom too. Yeah.
Yeah, like because I think if you used the bathroom, you would have like been like peeing out onto the grass.
The
I
grass.
guess.
Yeah. Porta potties are nice too.
Yeah. No, it was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And
Please have us again.
so as for final questions, a favorite show so far? Anybody?
Favorite show.
Or maybe most hated show? You can do that too.
Oh, I'm trying to remember favorite show. Because we spoke about it not too long ago. Because with Arthur leaving, we kind of went through like the whole let's dive down the memory lane kind of thing.
Yeah.
Were you guys like sitting together like watching videos online, or what do you mean?
No, this one was like we were grabbing a beer. It was the night before Arthur left, and before the last show.
Yeah.
And so we decided to just kind of have a pint in a moment to just reminisce a little bit because it's been 3 years, right? So there's been a lot of like cool. We've been super fortunate, and it's been a lot of cool stuff. Like I think Phil said Dragon Boat.
No, I think he said the.
Oh no, he's a
Rainbow.
tour.
Rainbow, yeah.
Yeah.
Before that tour show in March
Yeah.
2023.
That show was insane.
Wild show.
Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
my favorite show? I think some of our first shows kind of go overlooked because we were all so nervous. But
Yeah.
I think that like the Bad Luck and Dollar Signs one, it was our
Oh,
first
that's great.
Spectrasonic show.
Yeah.
And it was just like huge character development moment, I think, for all of us of just like, oh yeah, this was not maybe the best we could have played, but like now we know.
It was sweet.
It was great though. I think the show itself went pretty well, but yeah.
For some reason, the show with Monarch at Cornwall early in September with Jack,
Yeah.
that one was a great one too.
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
It
man.
was a fun one. It was just like
They gave us shots.
they bought us shots as we were playing. So hey,
As you were playing, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, there was a group of people at the bar. They came halfway through, and it was like one of those. It was right before we started a song, so I was like,
Weekend,
do we take it now or? Yeah, it was fun.
I gotta say that the shows just keep getting better and better. I think
Yeah.
like we're just getting more and more comfortable.
I'm gonna say the market one. I think the market one was the one that was
That's a
just
great one,
like
too.
it was the most eclectic show we've ever played in our lives, and it was so much fun.
Sorry, what was the market show? I apologize.
So we played in the Byward Market,
Yeah, okay.
like right where the Beaver Tails stand is.
Yeah, okay.
So
It was an O-Mic event.
yeah, it was an O-Mic event in partnership with like the Byward
BIA, I guess.
BIA, yeah.
Okay.
And it was just like kind of like the most crazy experience of being able to like just have a mass of people and just things happening at all times. Like I think like there was this one guy who had like 2 dogs that were like play fighting in front of us. There were like kids running around.
There's old ladies who were
Yeah.
going absolutely wild.
Yeah. Some like at one point like I kind of like that show right off the bat to like kill the nerves. I walked out and like I didn't know that I had like a small lead on my microphone. So immediately just get knocked back. I was like, okay, I can't move. So I decided later in the set to instead of go down, I'll just sit at the edge of the stage. And like these 2 ladies just came and sat right beside me. And we're just like hanging out. And I was like, this is like really cool, but really weird because I got to go back up now. But it was just like one of those like overly stimulating moments where you just like, wherever you look, there was just something happening.
Yeah, okay.
And it was so fun to just try to like navigate through that.
It's always weird playing under natural light too.
Yeah,
to be
it
honest.
was like a dude
Sun
who
in your
like
eyes
ripped
and
his
stuff.
shirt off.
Yeah. The market's a wild place.
Oh, the funniest part, there's this one guy who came up, put a dime on the stage during one song.
Yeah.
3 songs later, comes back, takes the dime and leaves. We don't know if he didn't like the songs or not, but
Was that dime meant to be like a donation to the band? or
I don't
something?
know. There was this like lady who came up and tried to give us like the grandma pass. We're like, she's like trying to like sneak like $10 towards us
Yeah.
while we're playing a song. We're like, no, we're good. It was really cool.
Do you have any pre-show rituals?
Oh my god.
Don't say it.
I think we are the most ritual intensive band.
Yeah.
Do you like sacrifice like a goat and stuff?
Yeah, we
How do you know?
hail Satan, man, I guess. No, but like we have a huddle.
What happens in the huddle? So you're all together like this, like
Yeah, we
we're
huddle.
gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay.
Oh no, not even. Usually it's like, let's find something stupid to cheer for,
Yeah.
and then let's cheers to it. And then we
Like
go.
Father Curtis.
Father Curtis was probably one of the biggest ones.
Yeah, that was
Shout out to Curtis Perry.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yes, okay, yes, got you. I get it.
Took a bunch of photos of us.
Yeah, I think that was the night that he was playing, where he hopped on for Buddy Holly.
Buddy Holly,
Yeah.
So yeah,
That was a great show too.
that was a lot of fun. Well, no, that wasn't. I was mistaken with the JJ Wild show. Yeah.
All right, okay.
We played the Rainbow a couple times.
They were like back to back shows. Yeah, I was like, you guys were there.
Yeah.
But so you do a huddle and then you all say,
Well, Max told me
I love
not
you.
to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway
Oh, God.
because I don't care. I need to go number 2.
Use the facility.
As a rule, it's like a bad omen if it doesn't happen.
you probably should do it before you go on stage.
Before
right?
I go on stage, of
Yeah,
course.
no, that's what I'm saying. Like, because if you don't do it before you go on stage, you might have to do it while you're
Yeah,
on stage.
things are just heavier, man.
Yeah.
Slower on your feet.
If he doesn't do it, it's a shit show.
Exactly.
I wouldn't say it was like it's never been a ritual for me, but like if I feel like it could happen, like I should do it right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's like clockwork, man. It's
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
It's got to happen.
It's probably like the anticipation of the show like gets the bowels moving a bit. You know.
I guess so. I don't know. Bodies, man. You get into a routine and you just don't change it, I think. Partially,
totally.
too.
And
It's
that's
like a circadian rhythm. Okay, we can change the topic. Tortured Max enough.
is there any other rituals, or are you kind of just are you guys nervous before you go on stage or anything like that? No.
Peaks and valleys. Like for me, it's usually like if we play at the Rainbow,
Yeah.
we go to the Coven for food before,
Yep.
so that's one of the rituals that we have. For me, nerves usually it's like a bit of a calm spike, and then I get extremely nervous and extremely like social,
Yeah.
but like in a nervous like word vomit way before.
Extremely social and nervous. That's kind of
Because I run around like hey like I'm really nervous right now.
wow, that's a good nervous. So if you can talk to people while you're nervous, it's kind of
Yeah, well, I kind of have to if I have to go sing on stage, right? But at least for me, like 15 minutes before a show is like peak nerves. As
Yeah.
soon as I'm about to walk on stage, I just count down from 10, and I'm perfectly fine after that. No,
Okay.
I like cool as a cucumber, but it's the anticipation to go on that kills me.
How about you?
I have me, it's the greatest tips I had going through Carleton was that you have to try to rewire your brain that like when you feel nervous,
yeah.
it's not actual nerves, but it's excitement for the show.
Oh,
And if you
okay.
can kind of like think of it that way, then you're like, I'm not like afraid to go up there. I'm excited to go up there and like perform because
Yeah.
that's what it is in its way, right?
Okay.
And it's like it works most of the time. For me, it's like sometimes I get a little nervous. Sometimes there's some shows where I feel really good, but usually as soon as we start playing, it's like
Yeah, you're in the
then
vibe.
yeah, it's the music takes over.
Yeah, for me, I would say I'm pretty good with the nerves, but I haven't always been. And I've tried all that, like, oh, look at the exit sign, or just look at the back of the room, or, picture everybody naked,
Yeah,
all that stuff.
yeah.
None of that shit works. But the thing that really worked for me was nobody goes to a show and expects the band to be bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're looking for a good time.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is give them that good time.
That's
You know what I mean?
That
It's a
mindset,
low bar usually.
No,
It's,
that's also the opposite. Like, no one goes to a show and expects a bad time.
Yeah.
Then that's a lot of pressure on you.
Well, I mean,
but I think it's in the way that like they
it's
don't.
a positive. They have a
Yeah.
positive expectation.
Oh, okay.
right?
Exactly.
Like you're
Gotcha,
going
gotcha.
and you want to have a good time.
Yeah, okay.
So you just, not that you have to like. People have different expectation levels, right? But generally, I think we deliver. So it's not.
Well, if anything, if they're not going to have a good time, we will.
yeah.
That's all it is.
That's another thing too. I think it's just with this band, it's like playing together for this long and stuff. We've kind of like we've had shows right at Sneaky D's or somewhere where there's like 3 people and
At
the
Sneaky
other
D's?
bands. Yeah.
Well,
And
man, we
it was
went over to
just-
Toronto and there's nobody there. Oh,
that was like, and
sucks.
it's like, but to a point,
happens, man.
it was one of the most fun shows we had because we're like, well, we're gonna have our own fun.
yeah.
Screw whoever isn't here or is here, like kind of thing.
And then those 3 people tell their 3
Yeah.
friends or
Yeah.
whatever, then you have hopefully more than 6 people the next time, right?
Well, I appreciate you all for coming.
Yeah, man.
Thank you
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, Kev.